In this video presentation, I aim to discuss whether it is possible to improve organizational performance using HRM strategies, with a specific focus on organizational development and how focusing on this can improve organizational performance. Performance in organizations is based around productivity, efficiency, effectiveness, and competitiveness. These are the main elements that companies try to improve when focusing on organizational performance. This video presentation will look at different kinds of HRM strategies that will contribute to improvement of organizational development. HRM is key when it comes to executing company strategic goals. The way in which these goals are executed will determine a company's success, failure, and/or profitability. Traditionally, the HRM approach is focused on internal interventions revolving around effectiveness and processes of staff. The efficiency of processes are measured against ratios. These are things like labour turnover and absenteeism. However, the specific ways in which these practices affect organizational outcomes are not clear. Studies hold opposing views with respect to theoretical foundations, although studies have acknowledged that they are vital sources of revenue and profits in the business. There is, however, a need for a more comprehensive practical justification to support this assertion. Some studies imply the best practice, arguing that certain HRM systems, such as high-performance strategies, can be universally applied to all firms. However, others examine continuous framework that argue that appropriate HR practices and depend on contextual variables such as things like business strategy or environment. With these perspectives in mind, it tells us that simply applying or linking HRM practices to the business strategy is simply not enough. Employers should remove the spanners in the works to facilitate change that will in turn increase productivity. Doing this will motivate employees to work productively towards achieving the company's objectives. There are many different definitions for organizational development. Firstly, it has been described by the CIPD as a planned and systematic approach. Secondly, by Warnerberg described as a plan for process of change in organizational culture. Finally, Wonderfrench described it as being a long-range effort to solve organizational problems and increase the company's abilities to problem solve. Fundamentally, it releases the challenge and vitality of people in organizations. These definitions all contribute to what the organizational development actually is and can offer understanding of how it can be achieved effectively. An effective planned HR strategy is vital. Managers should align the plan with the strategy and the employee's actions. This is done through careful planning. By planning, the company can focus on ways to get the best out of the employee, and it also allows for a dynamic workforce, as everyone will know what to do and when to do it. Organizational development is one of the most recent approaches to improving organizational performance. It is a planned, holistic approach to improving performance whilst allowing processes, strategy, and people to contribute in the organizational process and to deliver sustainable development through people. Organizational development includes hard and soft issues. Hard issues include things like policy, strategy, system, and structure, whereas soft issues develop appropriate skills, behaviors, culture, and attitudes, and the style of leadership that the organization will be working towards as its most efficient level. Organizational development emphasizes the fact that every part of the organization is fundamental to a system and can be affected by the external and internal environment. Those who practice organizational development usually have a strong democratic and holistic approach to organizational change. As HR has shifted from the personal approach to the functions, have become more strategic, proactive, and professional, it now requires a short HR activities planning. It now requires short HR activities and planning to develop sustainable performance in the long run in employees. The shift away from personnel now concentrates on including all aspects of people processes which can deliver organizational effectiveness. The right people, the right culture, the right people processes all affect the change. The change from personnel also suggests that there are many interventions that are under the HR umbrella. The role of an organizational practitioner is varied and seeks to improve the effectiveness of the organization through developing the business and other people processes within the context of the organization. Organizational development practices are also a centre of change and the development and are therefore vital parts of a company objective and aim. They will help the company move forward through each stage of the organizational cycle. A widely used model for organizational development practice is that of Burke and Litwin in 1989. The model shows OD interventions and portrays a relationship between different aspects of organization systems and how individual employee performance relates to the whole company. The model identifies problem areas where there are resources that can be used. Another model used in OD is the Aldrich 3 circle box model. This model suggests a successful HR activity produces contribution towards the organizational goals, and with prevailing revelation was strategic HR could contribute significantly to the company's performance. The traditional basic HR system uses 18% of business performance, whereas strategic HR produces much higher at 43%. This shows that the more strategic method of HR will allow a company to work more effectively and efficiently. Successful HR implementation of the models for HR community to completely understand the external business as well as the internal. This way they are able to successfully execute the organization development that needs to be made. Another model that supports OD is the Lewin's change model. This model provides an understanding of the importance of human processes and how this can be beneficially used. Firstly, the model's person development program and team building events are key aspects in this model, and they are still used in a wide range of developments today. The model seeks to achieve situational action as a result of recognizing patterns in the environment through a complex adaptive system. In the business, it is almost impossible to plan what is going to happen. However, the model can offer a more accurate prediction, and the firms are able to suit an objection by having a slightly accurate prediction of what may occur or what can occur. In the environment, the company is able to plan and facilitate change. It also allows the company to identify possible problems that might occur and take action to avoid them. Finally, McKinsey 7's model also supports this idea. This model paints a statistical picture showing how effectively an organization can implement its strategy. Also, it can be used to make comparison of the past, present, and make predictions for the future trends. This then allows the company to make action plans. This is a practical model that is good for comparing different timescales. It takes into account different types of data and can offer an insight into understanding the implications of change. With this model, because the company can use it as a prediction, however, these predictions might not be as accurate as if they were. In conclusion, it is possible and desirable to improve organizational performance through organizational development. Different types of organizations will need different organizational developments, such as HR strategies. Such HR strategies are implemented sequentially and can affect all parts of the business. A business needs to analyze its environment before it can make choices on what needs to develop. Models of organizational development can contribute within HR strategic planning, and it is vital in doing so. The company is taking into account all aspects of the business and can ensure that planning leads to improved, sustainable performance. However, managers should realize that it is not a quick fix. Rather, it is a long, complex, cultural changing process, and the company will have difficulty breaking out of the cycle and changing from transitional to transformational. Careful planning needs to ensure that unrealistic deadlines are not set and the risks analysed. This in turn will allow the business to avoid failure, and it will contribute to meeting company's objectives set.